My question to you is, how does one deal with this segregation? You know, this is like targeted violence has taken place in Manipur. This is the first evidence which we are putting on record. घरों के सामने लिखा है ट्राइब, लोगों को डर के मारे अपने नाम लिखने पड़ रहे हैं ट्राइब्स के. How bad things were in Manipur, these first visuals from Chura Chandpur are clearly reflecting that. Professor Bhagat.
Yeah, you must have noticed today that the member of Legislative Assembly, 10 of them, have written to Government of India that they are wanting to break ties with Government of Manipur, and there should be a separate state exclusively for the Kuki-Chin people. Now, this seems to be the crux of the entire story, that they want an exclusively inhabited area, inhabited by only this tribe. I mean, this is a conglomeration of different tribes. In fact, you can call it as Kuki-Chin Mizo group, who are close to Mizoram, and they have their own fraternity, blood relations in what you call as Myanmar as well. So this reflects that all the violence that has happened is somehow linked to this kind of a segregated way in which you throw away other people and exclusive inhabitation of the only community. This is just opposite to what a democratic, plural society should be.
But then, sir, how do you do that? You know, on one hand, people are demanding separate administration. On the other hand, people need to live together. How do you ensure that the people live together? You can't have three nations in Manipur. You know, you can't have a Kuki nation, you can't have a Meitie nation, you can't have a Kom nation, you can't have a Naga nation in Manipur. Absolutely. Professor Bhagat.
Yeah, this is the point. I mean, see, if you look at small communities, the population would be somewhere from 30-40,000 to maybe 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, or maximum 4 lakhs. So you cannot have all these nations and the states for its tribal community. They have to learn to live together. And unfortunate part is that each of these communities seems to be, having the militant outfit for themselves to support. So they are all gun-trodden. They are having guns, and many of them are having talks with Government of India. So somehow they are emboldened with arms in their hands. And with arms in their hand, there cannot be a democratic dialogue. That is the irony.
Professor Bhagat, Brijesh Pandey this side. I just wanted to ask you, because there are pictures right now which is saying that, people have posted like their community name, Kom, Kabui and Meitie. What exactly this denote? What kind of message are they trying to send? Is this shows the great divide, or is this shows that, how it works as far as escaping the wrath of a rampaging mob?
It doesn't make much sense, to say that, well, one house is for this or that, when you have already burned down so many Meitie households. You know that there are around 12 Meitie villages, and each village having 100 to 200 households, and nothing is left out at the moment. So all the houses are burned out. And now putting names of different tribes and putting them together side by side, the message is very strange.
You don't think that that this message will be will help to save their houses, or like how do you view it, sir?
No, it's not a question of saving. I don't know. I mean, what do they mean by Meitie houses here in Churachandpur? Already the Meitie houses are burned. People are fleeing from there. There is hardly any Meitie houses left. So putting up another saying that this is a Meitie house, this is a Aimol house, it doesn't quite make sense to me.
Professor Bhagat, if I may ask you one more question, we have been covering this story in depth and perhaps one of the very few, outlets who are doing this story in depth and bringing out all the voices from the ground. There's been a constant demand for the last 7, 8 days when we are taking questions from people on ground or people, who are from Manipur but living outside. There's a demand from a separate administration. Do you think that that is something which can be worked out in a limited definition of the word? Because not much hope is there, the CM is referred to as a Meitie CM and not a CM of Manipur.
See, this demand for a separate administration has been there for very long. The Nagas have also been asking for it. Kuki Chin groups are also been asking for it. The majority Meiteis had been against this breaking up, and many of this administration they are asking is under the sixth schedule, like Assam has. Now, Manipur is such a small state within which several administrative head having is no answer. This is my personal view as well as the view of the state government. And if you look at the history of Manipur, the first chief minister of Manipur was Alimuddin, who is a Muslim, Manipuri Muslim. He was the first chief minister of Manipur from 1971. Followed by him was the chief minister, Young Masu Seiza. Followed by him was another Tanghul chief minister, Risang Kaising, who ruled for, I think, nearly 20 years with several phases. Then came the Meitie chief minister. So to say that, everything is being siphoned off, leadership is being controlled by the Meitie is not a right answer, and not a good story to tell. Because if you look at the history of Manipur's statehood, as I told you, the different community leaders have led as chief minister of the state. Of course, the Kuki Chin group have not become chief minister. So whatever can be done within the existing state structure. Why I am saying is this narrative that everything is siphoned off by the Meitie, the majority, is untrue. Even if you look at the budget head of the state for the last 3-4 years, in the hills it is nearly 47-48%, and to the valley it is around 50 something, 52-53%. And you know that the valley comprises only 10% of the entire area of Manipur, and 60%, more than 60% of population across communities are staying in the valley. So naturally, the money will be pumped in more in the valley. But I am just telling you the ratio is, say, 53-47, something like that. So having a separate administration exclusively built on ethnic line is not the answer. That is against the very principle of democracy. We should learn to live together. Unless you learn to live together, such things are not going to happen. If you know, around 15 years back, it was Naga versus Cookies. It went on for almost 1 year. And this was in 2000 to 2001. This violence, the ethnic cleansing between the Nagas and Cookies, it happened. And after so long, now the Meiteis and the Cookies are happening. So to defeat the divisive politics based on ethnic line, which unfortunately many of these smaller tribes with the armed groups are encouraging that. And that goes against the spirit of democracy. We have to fight it out.